All right. Appreciate you guys for being here. It's nighttime. You guys pile in. Please, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Hit that hit that like the videos. Don't be an unliker. Be a liker. Like the videos. Go with me. I'm telling y'all right now. Go with me. Don't be go with me here. I want to talk about something tonight, and it's something that may seem like out left field, may seem like it has no bearing on a topic that I should be talking about. Probably don't even have anything to do with the channel, but it just has something to do with me. And it's nighttime, and that's why I think it's better to do this thing at nighttime, because my day is over with. I can get stuff off my chest, things that I feel, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to break something down to y'all tonight as I do this thing every night, 9 p.m. Make sure you're here. Let's be clear. Share my videos. Maybe you know somebody that's that lives here in Virginia. And I'm just gonna basically give y'all my perspective on people here in Virginia concerning racism. And I want to get this off the chest because it's just something that I see, and I have my perspective on it is something to talk about. So let's just leave it at that. So let me do this. Let me do this here. I'm in Virginia. Oh, good. I got a Virginian in this mug. Good. I'm glad you're here in Virginia. So let me try something here. Hold on. So stay with me since you're in Virginia. Stay with me, please. Stay with me. I'm begging you. Be a stay with me here person. You all. Why isn't this live coming up? It is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna break something down to y'all. So I'm gonna start it off like this. I'm from up north, right? And because I'm from up north, I get to say that I know the differences between what I get to just tell you the difference between living up north and living down here in Virginia. And because I been living here for now 12 years. I'm in Virginia now 12 years. I can say that there have been things that that now is evident. I can say that there are things that are now that I see that I'm saying to myself, maybe that's exclusive to Virginia. So I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna start it off like this. One day I was on Mercury Boulevard. I was on Mercury Boulevard, and I seen a guy, and he walked past my vehicle. And he walked past my vehicle, and as I'm looking at the guy, I'm saying to myself, dude look like a slave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Well, that's what I said. I looked at the dude, I said, damn. So I'm looking, when the person is driving, walking past your car, you're like, And I said to myself, oh boy, look like a slave, right? This is what I said. Hold on a second. Hold on. So I said, dude looked like a slave. That's what I said. I had a run-in with the Chesapeake Police Department. I can tell he wasn't used to it up north. He wasn't used to it. I can tell. When I had this run-in with this police officer in Chesapeake, Virginia, dude was just running his protocol. And I'm looking at him like, no, we don't, up north where I'm from, we don't allow you to pull us over saying, I pulled you over for your tent. And my tent is not illegal. Like some people were saying, are your windows even tinted? And then you're a cop, and then you get to pull me over. And what I told this cop in Chesapeake, Virginia, you don't get to pull me over and practice how well you can read tent. You don't get to do that. You might want to set up a couple of vehicles back at the station and look at them and get you guessing on them. You don't get to pull me over for that. I said, because you pulled me over for my tent, I'm not showing you nothing. 10 minutes later, I was driving off and I didn't show him nothing. They wasn't used to that. I told the police officer in Chesapeake, Virginia, I'm not from around here. And before you say you're going to see things, we do things different from around here, I need to tell you, I'm from New Jersey. We sued the state police for racial profiling. So let's be clear. You come with a different breed of dude. All right. So pause. I'm going to talk about another part. People here, they're too in touch. They are too in touch with slavery. A lot of people's mentality here, it's not 2025. It's 1866, a year after the Emancipation of Proclamation. It is amazing to talk to people here concerning racism, and they're like, well, white people and white people and white people and this and this and that. And I'm like, I'm lost as to where are you getting this from? There is racism, but I am truly lost and dumbfounded as to what year you think this is. You cannot. It is very rare. It is very rare. If you think you're going to have a conversation with somebody and it's based on racism today, every time you talk to somebody concerning racism, it's white people, and then they go off and you're saying, and what year is this? People, racism do exist. Sure as the sky is blue, racism exists. But I get real stuck as to I get so stuck as to where the curriculum of racism is coming from. I get stuck on that. I do. I get so stuck as to where the curriculum of people's involvement with white people and how listen, up north, let's be clear. In New Jersey, when people talk about racism, it's hands on. Yeah, I got pulled over by the cops one time and then they just ramble on the story. Yeah, I got pulled over. Yeah, I went in the store one time and they said, we don't want you in here. I have never ran into somebody up north that broke down and told me about, let me back that up. I have never talked to a black person when I was up north about an issue that they had with white people that wasn't their true experience. It's not like that here. Not like that here. Not like that here. Every story that I heard about racism, copy and paste. Copy and paste. You're looking at a person right now. I sued the Orange Police Department for racism antics and won. So when I'm listening, just be clear, my family sued the East Orange Police Department and won. So I got police department lawsuit victories under my belt by myself and as my family. So no offense. When I talk about racism, I'm elbows deep with the stories. I'm not seeing that down here in Virginia, man. Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Listen, let me back up something I just said. I heard what I said because I was sitting here when I said it, right? I just said it's amazing to listen to people's stories about racism because they seem to be copy and paste. It is, to me, it's amazing to be listening and trying to talk to somebody about an issue, and they talk, then it's then it's the same story. It's the same story. Nothing they experienced, nothing, all fabricated perspectives, all fabricated narratives, and nothing real. Nothing that they experienced. It's when you deal with white people, and then it's some cloud of disproportionate stories that all seem to be copy and paste. I'm from New Jersey. We don't do that. We don't do that. And it's something that I had to learn. It really is. It's something that I had to learn. I had to learn. I had to learn that when you're talking to people, I had to learn that when you are talking to people, you really about racism. All right. First of all, or second of all, people, I'm pro-black. I'm pro-black. You can't talk to a pro-black person about racism because chances are when you're talking to a person that's pro-black, our repertoire, our curriculum goes far beyond school curriculum. When you're talking to somebody about the Democrats, when you're talking to somebody about the Republican, let me back that up. Just a second backup. When you're talking to a black person about the Democrats, when you talk to a black person about Republicans, it's copy and paste. When you're talking to a pro-black person about racism, our perspective and narratives, we can pull from a different curriculum. What's going on, Deshaun? I see you, homie man person. You contributor, you boy, if I ever see you, boy. Now, what's going on, man? Right? When you're talking to a pro-black person, I can name off National Anthem by Sir Mix-a-Lot. You ever heard that? No, I ain't never heard that. But you know about Democrats. Close the Crack House? Us by Ice Cube. You don't know any of these songs, but you're pro-black. Now, of course, I'm using music because the reason why I chose music as an example is because when the dude Kendrick Lamar made, they not like us. They not like us. There was people that everybody know that song. I don't know it. I know the riddle. I probably heard 20 seconds of the song. I don't know that song. I like Rise and Shine by KRS-One, Public Enemy, and Kumo D. I'm pro-black. And the worst thing you can do as a pro-black person is talk to somebody about racism and they just ramble off Twitter postings. And you're sitting down there listening to them like, people, I had 2 fights when I was in my military career. 2 physical fights. 2 physical fights. Come closer. I'll tell you what them fights was about. Come closer. You close? You listening? You listening? I had 2 physical fights with black people because they called me a nigger. You're looking at probably the only person in the world you know that had a fight because a black person called them a nigger. As my man said in school days, we are not niggers. But as I'm doing this live stream right now, I'm processing a lot of things a lot of conversations I had about racism and politics with people that don't know they both intertwine. Because the Democrats started the Ku Klux Klan. So if you don't know about racism, but you kicking off to me about politics, I'm scratching my head because you have no idea what you're talking about. You think you do, but you're not pro-black. Once again, I'm pro-black. I am. My references run deep. My references run deep. Listen, let me go left for a second. My lane is intellect. My lane is not thug. My lane is not street nigga. My lane is not player. None of that is my lane. My lane is intellect. When you look around social media, you'll see a new dude, not new, but he's really roasting cats. That dude, Marquette, that one that offered to buy Dr. Umar Johnson's school. That dude. I look at that dude, and I'm going to tell you what comes to mind. Let me show y'all a picture of this dude so y'all know just who I'm talking about. Let me show y'all a picture of this dude. So y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm sure if I stroll up one of his, nothing is coming up. Okay. If I put in my thing, offered to buy Dr. Umar schools. Maybe it'll come up. Maybe he'll come up. There you go. This dude right here, the Saint. Y'all see that dude right there? You know that dude right there? Let me tell you about that dude right there. Let me tell you about that dude right there, if you know that dude. That dude was a teacher. Those are the worst people to run up on. I watched that dude just smoke cats. You know why? Because nobody is more intellect than a teacher. If I tell you I'm pro-black, he's a teacher. He's pro-intellect. He can pull from things. He's a teacher. KRS-One made a song because girls look so good because the brains are not ready. I don't know. I'd rather talk to a woman because her mind is so steady. So here we go. And he sampled by James Brown. In the lyric, he said, kings lose crowns, but teachers stay intelligent. Rapping on a mic like I do will always be relevant, right? And I said that to be in parallel to what I'm saying. I'm pro-black. So if I talk to another pro-black person and they dropping down some jewels and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna shut up because that person is dropping energy. I'm looking at that person like, I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. I used to love Run DMC. You probably heard the story if you guys hung out with me for a line. I used to love Run DMC. Still love Run DMC. I was listening to Down with the Kings today when I was working out, right? And I'm listening to Down with the King. Yeah, Marquette the Saint. You know him, Deshaun. You know him. So I'm listening to Down with the Kings by Run DMC. But I remember one time this is 1986. Yeah, 1986. They hadn't dropped Rebel Without a Pause yet, but they had buzz because they made Yo Bum Rush the Show. Before Rebel Without a Pause, they dropped Yo Bum Rush the Show. This is the rap group Public Enemy. And everybody know I used to wear a derby. I used to have a Manhattan. It was $80 hats. I was the only one on the block to have one. I had like 3 of them. And I was up at the corner on 12th Street and Park Ave. Some dude, I've never seen him before, never seen him since. He was like, yo, young man. It was like me and my friends. So it was a bunch of us. Yo, young man, who's your favorite rapper? And I was like, Run DMC. He said, Run DMC ain't saying nothing. I went with his, like, oh, what do you mean Run DMC ain't saying nothing? Then he broke it down to us about Public Enemy. Been listening to Public Enemy ever since. Bumped Run DMC. Before he walked away, Run DMC got bumped to number 2. Public Enemy was my number 1. When I talk to people here about racism, their perspective in Virginia is cookie cutter. I'm listening to them. I'm like, can you give me your experiences on racism? They don't exist. It's all a shadow perspective that people have here. So if I ask somebody, have you ever heard of Joanne Chesimard? Not too many people heard of her. Never heard about her in school, me personally. Had no idea who this woman was. Individuals are running around here claiming that they're pro-black. I got 15% battery. What? But individuals are running around here claiming they know. They're claiming that they They understand politics and racism, right? But they never heard of Joanne Chesimard. And like I said, racism and politics intertwine, one and the same. If you know politics, you know racism. You can't speak on racism without politics. You can't. As a matter of fact, the Democrats is the reason why Democrat areas are so ass trash, et cetera, et cetera. But this dude, when Public Enemy first, like as I stated, they dropped Yo Bum Rush the Show. Then they dropped Rebel Without a Pause. When they dropped Rebel Without a Pause, it was anarchy. Anarchy. And I remember when Chuck said, Flav said, hard. Chuck said, that's my calling card. Recorded in order, I'm a supporter, a Chesimard, loud and proud. Kicking live, I'm a master poet supreme. Super troop, bazooka, the scheme. Flavor of rebel in his own mind. Supporter of my rhyme designed to scan a line of suckers that claim I do crime, right? Let's back up for a second. When he said Joanne Chesimard, I didn't know who Joanne Chesimard was. I had no idea who she was. I just thought it was a riddle in a song. Right? Then somebody pointed that out to me. Oh no, she killed the state trooper, boogied on over to Cuba. She's over in Cuba now. America wanted Castro to turn her back over to the United States. He said, no, I'm good. She's gonna stay here. Right? You can talk to people that claim they understand racism, but they don't seem to understand key and pivotal things concerning the Black struggle. Their whole perspective and narrative is Donald Trump is racist. You see, because white people, I just don't trust white people. You know, white people, you know those white people. Did I ever tell you about white people? You know those white people. I just, all I'm saying is, where I'm from, we're a little bit more hands-on with the narrative of racism. We're not with this thing where it's a pop, plop, fizz perspective. When we talk about racism, where I'm from, we talk, it's current. We talk our issues with racism is current. It's current and it's hands-on. I'm scratching my head again. I'm scratching my head to the narrative of individuals that got all this understanding towards white people, right? The cop that pulled me over and said I made an illegal left turn. How? I was going straight. I never made an illegal left turn. A year and a half later, I got him in court. Got me a $10,000 lawsuit. I said, give me 10 grand, pay my attorney fees, and I want 10. I want to walk away with 10. Cool. Settled out of court. But it went to court. I'm sitting there when an incident happened and police officers are popping up on the scene like, yo, what's up with yo, that's Chris. What's up with him? Half of the cops pulled up was like, nah, that's Chris. What are y'all doing? Nah, he cool. But they had to run, the bad cops had to run the narrative. Never experienced that, huh? You ever had your car towed because you got arrested and then went to the tow place and they said that'd be X amount of money and you said, no, this was an illegal tow. 20 minutes later, they're pulling your van up. You ain't paying no money. Ever happened to you? Nope, but you know racism like the front and back of your hand and ain't experienced nothing. That's what I see here. I'm confused as to how is these narratives clouding your brain? How does these narratives have space in your brain and they don't exist? But I can say I experienced this, and this, and this. So I don't know racism like you know it. I don't know these phantom things. I just don't know them. I know the real. And where I'm from, we're ready to boot the ass. We ain't got these old oppression stories. You see, because white people, I don't have them stories. Where I'm from, know your place. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's so cool. It's cool. It's cool. Here, it's you better not mess with white folks now. White folks don't play that now. You better stay in your place now. It's these white folks. I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm from New Jersey. Yeah, I'm from New Jersey. I don't understand this. I'm sitting down because I don't understand it. Get it? I'm sitting down because you know. Down here, it's, boy, I don't like to drive over there because them cops. Yeah, I had a run-in with them cops. Hands down, Chesapeake are the worst cops. I had a run-in with them. Yeah, I was running with them. I was riding my Honda 600, state police on a highway. State police rolled up on me, looked at it for a minute, like, what the? What is a scooter? What the? Then he looked at me, gave me the head nod, and took off. Up north, Silver Wing 600s are everywhere. But this cop was riding on the side of me on a police motorcycle. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? Yeah, listen, it's a Silver Wing 600. It's huge. It don't have 600 on it. But to stop everybody from going with me down here, I went and got that chrome 6 and 2 O's and put it on each side. So people know. Easy. It's a 600. I know because it's a $9,000 scooter, they don't really sell them down here in Virginia. Yeah, this is an economy thing. You see my eyes? Been out here 13 years. I only seen 2 other ones. White people had them. My man Dexter, he's up in here. He said, be safe, King, my man. The Sean is up in here. Marquette, that's right. That's his full name. Marquette, the Saint, the Sinner. Very well said. Deshaun said their racism is based off of someone else's racism experience. Yep, that's what I said. It's cookie cutter. When I listen to people talk about, once again, when I listen to people talk about racism, they don't have no idea that in my head I'm saying, oh, wait a minute, don't tell me. Blah, 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 blah. How did I know that? It's nothing based off of experience. It's like racism is in the cloud here. And when people want to talk about it, they pull a story from the cloud. With everybody I know up north, hands on with it. So yeah, that's about right. Deshaun also chimed in and said, I just seen one of the funniest things recently. Howard U students are now ordered to pay back tuitions they owe and some blaming. Wow. Really? I just seen one of the funniest things. Howard University students are now ordered to pay back tuition they owe. And some of them are blaming the president. Everybody's blaming the president. Everybody's blaming the president. Hey, listen, here's one thing you can't get a broke person to understand. Economics. You will never get a broke person to understand economics. You will never get Shaquita to understand. You do know that, like, that voucher that you get and you only pay $100 of your $1,800 a month rent, that $1,700 difference is actually money's getting paid, but from somewhere else. Have any idea where that's coming from? You don't. Oh, you don't care? No, I'm sorry. I don't know you mean. You just can't get individuals to understand this. You can't, right? So when you don't understand economics, your assumption is there are such thing as free rides. When you don't understand economics, you believe in free rides. Just think about that, right? Think about it. If a person don't understand economics, they will truly think a free ride exists. It doesn't. It doesn't. Appreciate you for being here. For those that are here, like to hit that thumbs up button. Remember, hey, you look below, you'll see my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. I charge $1 to watch my live streams. However, you can waive that fee. Just hit that thumbs up button. That thumbs up button is your fee. It's your fee. You see what fee? You see it? That's your fee. Appreciate it. It helps the algorithm and makes everybody say, hey, that ugly guy is on again. So no, I didn't see that story, Deshaun, but I can only imagine. One thing that I can truly say as a 56-year-old man, this is one thing I can truly say. It's been a great ride. I have a great life. I've done it all. No, let me back that up. I've done a lot, right? And one thing that I can tell you is this. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right. Like I was saying, this is what I'm going to tell you. Individuals that I get to see now at my age is a lot of individuals, they have thrown in the towel. Everything that's done, everything that's happening now and how it affects them negatively in a negative way, then they will now blame that on all of their issues. And I will say this tonight, and I will say this forever. If at any point in time, what happens in Washington affects you immediately, you're doing something wrong. All right, you're not doing something right. The other day, I had the electric company come to my house. Right, they came to my house and they like left a note on my door, and I opened the door. I opened the door. I'm like, yeah. Can I help you? And he's looking at my house, and he got this little thing in his hand. He's looking at my house, and he said, yeah, we don't have this house as the electric is not on here, but the porch light was on and the Ring doorbell was on. And I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, we need to take a look at the meter. I said, for what? He said, because we don't have no electric on at this house. Yeah. I said, my man, this house is on solar. Oh, we don't have that on the records. Why would you have it on your record? In October, it'd be 3 years. I haven't had an electric bill in 3 years. What's the problem? Right? What's my point? I'm taking more control of my life and I'm not relying on the system. Because I am not relying on the system, I am in control over my life. My next thing is I'm buying two of those water plant towers. They produce 40 pounds of food a month. I'm buying 2 of them. I am slowly getting off the grid. I'm gonna get a nice water tank built, water tank, and have it encased in and look. It's gonna look good. It ain't gonna sit there and look like an eyesore. And I'm gonna be less reliant on city water. But I am less of my life is reliant on anybody's system. Right? Less of it. I got the studio lights in here plugged up. If I hit this button right here, they go off. Hit it back on, they come on. It's plugged into the wall. The house has electricity. Why? Because I have 4 500-watt bifacial solar panels, right? I have 4 of those. And I have 3 450-watt solar panels. I have 3 of them. So I get all my electricity. I switched my water heater to gas. I switched my dryer to gas so I can use less 240 power. And the dryer now runs off of 110. The water heater now runs off of 110. And that's how you do it. So I had the thing is, wasn't nothing wrong with these things that I switched out, but this house is relying less. By in a year or so, I won't be relying as much on water, and I'm gonna start growing my own food. I tried to do the thing in the grass and the garden in the back. Didn't work out well. So this hyper thing where the water and all that and the UV lights is on each shelf and all that, I think that'd be easier for me. But I want to be less reliant on the supermarket. I want to be less reliant. I gotta put a cord in there. This thing will go dead. Hold on a second. I don't want my battery to go dead. Oh boy. All right, plug this up. Okay, plug this up. Get some juice. There we go. All right. So, it's less reliant. You know, that's how my life is, right? So, I see a lot of people, unfortunately, going through problems, and so when they say, "Oh, well, something happened in Washington, and this is why I'm having a crisis in my life," I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. You know, I at 56 years old, I can truly say the unfortunates. I could see a lot of people's issues and everything is coming home to roost. So, you know, that's what it gets down to, and that's what it is. And I just thank God. You know, I'm sitting up here tonight. I'm drinking this ginger beer. You know, it's non-alcoholic. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. I just love drinking them. And I try to take care of myself. I work out. I eat good. I sleep well. I have absolutely no stress in my life. I tell you guys that, you know, I have no stress in my life, and I'm never going to have stress in my life. The day something stressed me out, it's the second something stressed me out, the next following second is gone. It's gone. I will never love nobody that don't answer my question. I will never love nobody that talks back to me. I will never love nobody that disrespect me. And I will never love nobody that don't respect me. I don't care who it is. You show me you disrespect me. What you're telling me is you agree with the perspective, especially I'm talking from a woman's perspective. You agree with what America trained you to think about your man. You believe in the sisterhood first. And when it comes to me, you think you're going to disrespect me. You disrespect me, our relationship is over. It's going to stay like that. It's going to stay like that. I look back on my life and say, damn, when it comes to being involved and when it comes to engaging with people, I did everything correct. And I'm looking at people that didn't. Hey, listen, I got nothing to say about that. It's almost like what I'm talking about here tonight. I said, how are you making some brain cells available for some nonsense that you never experienced? How do you sit down there? Like I said, you talk to somebody about racism here in Virginia. How are you coming up with this narrative? What's your actual engagement with this that you're talking about? It doesn't exist. It's some cookie cutter narrative. There's a racism cloud that everybody that's here get to tap into. You can't, it is so depressing to hear somebody be so adamant about something they did not experience. And you don't see it like that. It's just amazing. You can't tell somebody up in New Jersey, let a cop pull somebody in New Jersey over and be like, yo, man, what the fuck? What? Down here, it's, yes, sir, I got both my hands on the steering wheel. Just clucking. No. No, sir. No, sir. But, hey, listen. Isn't this how it was, though? When people want to get away from slavery and all that, they went up north. You know, that's what happened. So, you know, there aren't too many places in New Jersey that got slaves. Oh, this used to be slave. This, you can go lots of places here. And they got the slave stones and a slave piece. This is the house that the slaves used to get whipped in. Oh, this is it? Oh, wow. Just all that. Oh, this is plantation 6. Oh, wow. Where's plantation 5? Oh, dear my. Not like that up north. Not like that. It's not like that. You know, we got statues of George Washington. Yeah. It's just, hey, listen, it is what it is. I'm not asking it to be any other way. I'm just here to tell you that it is truly amazing when you're talking to somebody here in Virginia about racism. You better hold on to something, because what you'll be saying to yourself is, where did you get that story from? I'm sorry. Where's that? I'm sorry. And that's what they did to you? Oh, they never did that. Okay. You know, you don't even know nobody. Oh, this happened in the slave days. Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, this is 2025. You know, that shit happened back in 1865.